So, do you know reason why we're...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So, did the deputies like put handcuffs on you or anything with it? Because there's a lot of things going on, and we're trying to sort through the moving pieces to try to figure out what happened. So naturally, they want to secure
Understood.
the scene, and that under that circumstance, I meant to handcuff you. So we're working this investigation. And at this point, you're not free to leave, so I have to make you aware of your rights, okay, before we talk. So I have to read this to you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to execute these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of those rights I've explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason I'm trying to clarify all the events that happened tonight, and to try to, because really I only have, statements from people that were out there, and I would like to get your side of things and try to understand what exactly happened tonight, or last night now, I guess it is.
Good clarity. Basically, the neighbors were out there screaming, yelling. The kids were running back and forth. I had a miserable headache. Went inside, laid down. They finally got quiet. I came outside, and the three boys were there. I'm like, guys, you're trespassing. Come on, go out of here. And he's like, I want this, and I want that, and fuck you, and fuck this. I'm like, oh, okay, little big kids, because they're all really young. And
So you say you came out, and they were...
I wanted to check my truck. Every time I had my truck on one side, the kids would throw the balls and hit the truck.
Okay.
So I moved the truck to the other side, then they moved themselves to the other side, and they keep just
Just
pains in the ass.
antagonizing you?
Oh, God,
Yeah.
horribly.
Okay, so when you said that you came outside and they were there, the three boys were there, where were they at?
They're right in front of, that little cove that's
Like
there.
the privacy fence?
They were right there. Right in
Okay,
front.
inside the privacy fence, like
No.
on your patio or
No, they were
outside?
just right outside.
Okay.
And I'm like, guys, come on, leave. Because I wanted to check the truck and everything. And then they were like, I'm going to tell my mom. I'm like, go tell your mom, I don't care, And
Have you had problems with him before?
oh my God, yes. They've been harassing me last week. They came up they were actually in the vestibule area. And they were like, wake up, wake up. I was watching TV. I'm like, really, seriously? Because, after a nice long shift, it's just when I want to hear these little run.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
3 years?
Mhm.
Okay. And how long have you been having problems with them?
Like 2 years.
2 years?
Ever since she moved.
Is it just those same three, or do you have problems with any, does anyone else give you problems?
They want to play on that part where Charles Owens and the other part. And I'm like, guys, come on. give me
Which
some-
part is that? I'm not sure, I don't know who Charles is.
Charles is 11. So there's, one of the cops came out and said, oh, it's an open lot. It's not an open lot. It's an abutment of 2 properties. I'm like, guys, come on, give me some peace, because in my apartment, there's sliding glass doors, and then I have the 2 bedrooms up front. And because it's an open concept, just you can hear everything.
Sounds travel
And
right
it's
through.
horrible. And I'm like, go play on the other side. We don't want to play on the other side. I want to play over here. I'm like, oh, good gravy, And so they just, every time they see me, they get together and scream and yell.
They live in the same building?
No, none of them live there. I was going to say, one set of kids lives there, but the other sits on the other side. They go play on your side of the road, Come on.
Okay, so they were being obnoxious out there tonight,
Oh,
and they finally got quiet, but then you go outside and the 3 of them are out there?
Yeah, and I didn't want to go any further because he's like, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. I'm like, what in the world?
Who said that?
Ajike's kids.
Okay, so who is it?
Ajike, I think her name is.
Okay.
She actually had thrown a sign at me before. She picked up the no trespassing sign and just threw it at me. She's like, here, take your fucking sign. I'm like, it's not mine, it's Charles. He doesn't want you guys here.
Mm.
So it's just, she's been in my mailboxes. She sends the kids in the mailboxes.
When did she throw a sign at you?
I want to say last year, just after I had my neck fused. I'm like, oh, good gravy.
What kind of sign? Like one of the ones you buy at the store, like a plastic, like on the
It was
fence?
a metal sign with a little metal, like a real estate sign. But it had no
How-
trespassing, so
how
it was
big?
about that by that. And with the,
Is it the same one that was out there tonight,
No,
or
it's a
is it different?
different one. Mhm.
Okay.
They stole that sign.
So what happened tonight that led to the conclusion
Well, I'm like, kids, go home. So they go home, and then all of a sudden, she comes out, and she is just banging on my door. I'm like, go away. I'm not dealing with you tonight. And then she started banging so hard, everything started shaking. And I'm like, you really need to leave. And then I'm going to kill you. And she's just banging away. You know, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And ever since she has actually harmed me, I'm like, it just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm like, I don't know what to do with her. And she banged so hard, it looked like my door was going to fly off. And I panicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's really going to kill me this time, you know. And so I don't even actually remember picking up the gun. I just remember shooting.
Where do you keep the gun usually?
It's in my bedroom.
That's where you keep it? Like
keep it in
a cabinet or something, or just like?
It's just, I actually keep it in the trash can.
Okay.
Next to the bed.
I know nobody would look in there probably, right?
You know, and I didn't think about it, and I'm like, oh my God, and I just started panicking, and I really feared for my life. I mean, honest to God, I was like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm a nervous wreck. You know, I'm not supposed to be getting nervous or anything like this because I have an aneurysm on my left kidney artery. And so they're like, you're supposed to stay calm, you're not supposed to do anything, and this woman just keeps antagonizing me. She's got the kids calling me, I'm like, I have a doctoral degree. Do not talk to me like I am one of your peers.
So they don't really have any respect?
No respect.
Yeah. So AJ, she came to your door?
Oh, yeah.
And she was
pounding on it. I was like, what the hell? My cats went flinging.
What was she saying? Was she saying anything?
You don't talk to my sons. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, you know? And I was like in tears. I'm like shaking, and I'm like, oh my God. And I thought she had gone away, and then she starts banging again. I'm like, oh shit.
Did she, like, try to come inside?
She was trying as hard as she could.
And what do you mean?
That door was moving. And I'm like, holy shit. You know,
Like, did she try the door handle, or was she just beating on it to try to push it in, or what?
She was just, you know, just trying to push it in, and I was like, oh my God.
You just let you know it's back. Side.
Okay. So what was she saying again?
She's like, you can't talk to my sons that way. You know, I'm like, you're trespassing, you know.
So you were communicating with her through the door?
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, just leave. You know, I don't want to hear it. No, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you. And I didn't think too much of it until she really started pounding that door. And I'm like, oh my God. Then I got scared, like terrified scared.
Now, you had initially called,
Because it was,
did you call 911, or
Yeah,
did you use the non-emergency number when you called?
when the first time, because the kids said, I'm going to kill you, and my friends kill you, I'm like, oh my God, you know, what the hell's going on now? You know, I'm like, I don't need this aggravation.
Okay. So you called, was it 911?
Yeah, I called 911.
Okay. And that was before HI came over?
Before she
Okay.
came over.
And the kid, okay, so we get, like, as the deputies are responding, the call taker's talking to you, they're putting information that you're telling them into the computer, which goes to us as we're going out there. So in that call notes, there's never any mention of you saying that they said that they're gonna kill you. It was more or less that they're harassing you, that
Oh, no, I told the lady that they said they were gonna kill me.
Okay.
No, I was very specific when I spoke.
Okay. Now, did you see who was out there at that time?
I just knew it was Ajike by her voice, because she's screamed at me before, you know, and I'm like, oh, Gary, it's her again, you know. And like I said, I just panicked, and I just got so frightened. I was like, oh my God, she's really gonna do it this time. She's gonna kill me.
Were you still on the phone with 911 when you fired the gun?
No. I thought that the kids went, and I was like, all right, I'll go check my truck in the morning. I didn't even leave, you know, I just went back in the house and locked the doors.
So, but you had already contacted 911?
Yeah.
Did they advise you that someone was responding, an officer was responding?
They said someone's coming out, and they said, lock the doors, you know, make sure you don't go outside. I'm like, okay, you know, usual.
Okay. And where were you at when she was pounding on the door? Were you?
I was actually in the bathroom.
You were in the bathroom. I haven't been inside, so how does it, like, when you go in through the front door?
It's all open.
Okay.
So you can see kind of the bathroom right from the front door.
Okay.
So.
And you were still able to hear her?
Oh,
And she
oh
was
my
able to
God,
hear
yes.
you, that you know, as far as you know?
I don't know if she was able to hear me. I mean, she was just screaming for all she was worth. I'm like, stop, 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 you know, and just, she wouldn't stop. And, you know, just like a dick.
What else was she saying besides what you told me? Was she saying anything else?
She was just, some of it was unintelligible,
Okay.
so she was just ranting.
So I noticed there's, you have a couple cameras in the house?
Yes.
Okay. And are those like Ring cameras or Arlo
They're
or
bling,
Blink?
bling.
Okay.
Then I have the one at the door, but when it gets dark out, they don't pick up anything, which sucks.
Do they record sound though, or
I
like,
have no
is it
idea.
all motion where it only records when it captures
only-
motion?
Yeah, when it captures motion.
Okay. But those are working cameras?
I don't know if the door bell picked anything up. You can look at it and stuff. I mean,
Is that through your phone that you were able to review that, or computer, or how do you?
phone.
Through your phone? Okay,
But I don't think it picked it up because I didn't get a ding.
okay. So, but prior to her coming over there and banging on your door, because we talked to a lot of people that were out there at the time, and there was some statements given to us that you had taken a tablet or picked up a tablet that was
No,
on the
sir.
ground?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay.
That,
Is it one of the older ones?
yeah.
Okay. And what was the deal with the roller skate? Because again, we talked to a lot of people who were outside and kind of witnessed some of
They
this.
keep leaving all their toys around. The other day, I almost killed myself going out. I had an early morning doctor's appointment, and I didn't see the roller skate, and I almost killed myself. And I'm like, guys, you know, stop already. This is not your garbage yard.
Mhm.
You know, and the kid's got his roller skates there, and I'm like, really, take your roller skates. And I threw the roller skates. I'm like, go fetch them. You know, just enough. Because
Did you throw that at them?
Oh,
or?
God, no.
Okay.
No, I just
And what is
threw-
the thing about the umbrella? You have an umbrella?
I thought it was raining before, and I walked out and it wasn't raining. I'm like, okay. So
Okay. And you like swung it at them or so, or one of them?
I wasn't even close. I was still inside the vestibule. So
How can we explain that then with people saying, like multiple people that weren't like talking to each other, that if they were saying that that's what they saw?
I don't know. Maybe I did step out and I'm like, guys, go away, but I would never touch them.
Okay.
You know,
Maybe like swat at them with it, but not.
exactly.
Okay.
If I did it, it was probably because I was just so, you know, like, come on. Get
But
away,
I
get
know,
away.
at least say if you did, but is that what happened? I mean, we gotta kind of get specific about this because it's a big deal.
I understand that.
Someone's dead.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So that's why I say it's important to be specific and honest about everything. So,
It was only because she was pounding at my door, and I, honest to God, thought she was gonna come in.
okay. So we have, over in our communication center, they're putting together, because all the calls that come into 911 are audio recorded, and there were several people even before. So there's open lines, we're recording and getting audio of exactly what's being said, not to mention if your camera's captured anything, okay? So that's why I'm like asking you before we go through that, and if something is different than what you're telling me, we need to clear that up now, because if
Okay.
you know what I mean, if the evidence shows something different than what you're saying, it doesn't look good, and I want to be open and honest with you. So
I
that
just know that she was pounding and pounding on the door and scaring the shit out of me.
Okay.
You know?
But is there any reason why, if we reviewed that evidence, she wasn't saying, "I'm going to kill you"?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I honestly got heard. You know, it's just what I heard.
Okay. Did you ever look out the door to see And I know you said you kind of recognized her voice, so,
I never looked out the door.
okay.
I was afraid to get to my door, to be brutally honest. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna bust it in and just gonna.
Where were you standing when you shot the gun? And you said you shot the gun
Oh, yeah.
through the door?
Yeah, through the
Okay.
door. I just panicked. It was probably by the kitchen table somewhere.
Okay, by the kitchen table.
Mhm.
And how many times did you shoot the gun?
Once.
Just once? What kind of gun is it?
It's a Remington 380.
Is that the only firearm you have in the house?
No, there was a 22 Ruger.
Where's that one at?
Really, I don't know. I don't know if I picked it up or not. I have no idea. Maybe the garbage can.
And after you fired the round, what did you do?
She said, ow, and I'm like, oh my God, I hit her. It just, clicked, I hit her. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I thought I just, nicked something. I never ever.
And what did you go out there?
No.
You didn't go out there?
No.
Did you call 911 back?
Yes, I did call
Okay.
911.
And what did you say?
And I said, she was pounding on my door and I shot my gun. I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
Okay.
And she was threatening me, and she was saying, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. So,
So it's a Remington 380?
Mhm.
Is it a revolver or
No,
a semi-automatic?
It's a pistol,
Okay.
it's semi-automatic.
What color is the Remington?
Black,
Black. And that's your firearm?
yes.
Okay. So, again, we're trying to get to, there's always two sides, right?
Mhm.
And when there's the truth is somewhere usually lying in the middle
Mhm.
somewhere. And I'm not trying to discredit what you're telling me, and I understand your concerns about, this is your area. You want to be able to be relaxed and not have to worry about all this.
Riprap.
Basically, yeah. But unfortunately, we can't get the other side from Ajike,
Ajike, I think her
Jake.
name is. It's Ajike.
right. But we can't ask her side,
Mhm.
right? So then we have to go by other people who may have seen or heard things, video, 911 call recordings and things like that.
Telling you what I know.
So, is it feasible to say that this has just got to a boiling point for you that you couldn't take it anymore? And because
No.
again, if
This was
if
absolutely
this stuff
terrible.
happened in the past,
Mhm.
I get it, but we're talking about a specific event tonight where she didn't make it a point that she was trying to come in. She was trying to get your attention to say, apparently, to stop throwing things at her kids, whether you actually, I know, listen, kids can lie, I get it. And I'm just saying, whether that actually happened or not, that's what she believed, because that's what she was told by her one of her sons. So she was coming over there does that ring a bell of her telling you not to be throwing things? No? What
Not that I-
specific words do you recall that she said?
I just
that you-
remember her saying, don't talk to my sons that way, and I'm gonna fucking kill you. I mean, that's what I heard. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
And you're sure when you were on the phone with 911, you told them that she said that?
I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I mean, if someone was, the reason why I ask is because, if someone, let's say I'm not a police officer, or, right, and I'm just at my house and someone's, beating on my door saying, I'm gonna kill you or I'm gonna fucking kill you, oh my God. They're banging on my door, they're saying they're gonna kill me. That's a very fear-provoking statement when if you're in a legitimate fear that someone's gonna come through your door and kill you, if you're already on the phone
I wasn't on the phone though, I was in the bathroom when she
You
started.
weren't on the phone with 911?
No, I was already off the phone with 911.
Okay, so she had already maybe made that statement before you even called.
Oh, the second time?
Anytime.
I was gonna say the second time, when I called, she had already said it,
Okay.
so.
But the second time you called was after you had fired the gun?
Yes.
Okay, so,
And maybe I misunderstood, because what my understanding was before I had to walk out of the room was that when she was knocking on your door,
It wasn't a knock.
the way,
Sorry.
I understand, you said that it got worse, like so I'm starting off with
No,
and
she
then we're
never-
gonna get
No,
harder.
she started off banging on that door, and it was,
But during that initial time is when you had said before that she had made the statement that, she was gonna kill you.
yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just,
No, it's important that we learn the details, so that way, as we gather and collect evidence, the details are what help us piece that together so we can see the big picture, right? I'll tell you that even as law enforcement officers, if we make a decision to, use deadly force against someone, we have to sit and explain the same way with details. I did this because of this, making me feel like this, right? We're just trying to understand the details of what happened from your point of view, so as we gather our evidence, we can.
understood.
does anyone else live with you, Susan?
No.
Okay. How long have you owned your firearm, or firearms, or any firearm really?
Trying to think of what, Remington, maybe a year ago?
Okay. And was it just for personal, protection,
Yes, it
personal
was-
protection?
yeah,
Do you carry it with you if
No.
you go out, just
No.
for home?
Only if I take it to the range.
Okay. Do you do that often, or how often do you think that you've shot at the range?
Probably 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
I used to be terrified of firearms, and then when the first time she threw the things at me, and she was just so horrible to me, I had just had neck surgery, and I'm like, she could have really killed me, and I just was like, oh dear God, she was just violent.
So, your door is kind of like, probably not wood or whatever, but you can't really see through it. There's no
No.
windows or anything like that. And I know your sliding door is a little further over,
Mhm.
but something that he mentioned, as far as our training, when we have to
Mhm.
go through making a judgment decision where we might have to pull the trigger, we have to know what we're firing at is a deadly threat, or what we recognize as a deadly threat. So my question is, how do you know what you're firing at when you're firing through a door that you can't see through, when you don't know if there's also a child outside standing there? Or, basically I'm asking you, what were you aiming at, and what were you intending to do when you fired that gun?
I was just fearful of my life, and I was just like, go away, go away. That's all I could think of, is just get out of the situation, just go away already. And,
But when you fire through a door that's closed, was it locked?
yes, it was locked.
Okay. And, you said you're in the bathroom, which I understand you said it's kind of an open floor concept in there. So it's kind of open, but I'm assuming there's walls around the bathroom, you've got a door, you can close it. I'm not saying that, you're within your right, you're in your house, you don't have to do that. But if I'm looking at a door that's secured, and whether someone's banging on it or not, law enforcement's already on the way. At what point do you,
The door is broken.
the door's broken?
At that whole side panel, people have, she's pounded on it more than once, and he fixed it, but when everything started rattling so much, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna bust through it,
Okay.
So it's broken right now, or it was broken before and then the landlord fixed it?
He didn't, Jerry rigged it. He put screws through it so that the centerpiece was supposed to stay in there, but she was pounding it so hard, everything was just rattling, and I'm like, oh my God, it sounded like a horse kick. It was so loud.
One thing that I think my partner was trying to get at, and I don't know that I actually heard an answer to the question, when you're inside the house and she's on the other side of a door that you can't see through, and she's pounding on the door, you make the conscious decision to aim your gun at the door and fire one round, right? Just one round?
Yes.
Fire one round. Were you trying to hit her, or were you trying to scare her off? Were you trying to make a loud noise to say, like, hey, I got a fucking gun, get away from my door? Or were you think, like...
I was never intending to hit her. I just thought, I thought I hit really high, you know, I was just like, kind of, you know, it's the first time I ever really used it, where I was, you know, like...
Not on a paper target.
Exactly. I was like, oh my God. So I was shaking. I mean, I was just so distraught at that point in time. I'm like, oh my God, she's really gonna freaking come to my house. And I was just like, all I could think is go away, go away, go away, go away.
Did you mean to, were you aiming for the door?
I just fired the gun. Because all I could think of is, I felt like I was in mortal danger. I mean, it's just how I felt.
And what made you, I mean, I know someone's banging on the door, you feel like they could get in, but at that point where nobody had breached or been able to get through that secure door, what made you feel like that was the time that you needed to do that?
I usually have a chair propped up against the door at night.
Okay.
And I didn't have the chair up there, and I didn't have the chain on the door either. So just the one lock was locked. I'm like, oh shit, you know, of all the times that I never...
But before you decided to pull that trigger, you didn't think to try to put
I wasn't going near the door, because she was actually physically moving the door. You know, like you could see the door moving. I'm like, oh dear God.
So the thing is, and again, I can 100% sympathize with being fed up with that kind of harassment and that kind of disrespect. But also someone lost their life last night, right? No?
I absolutely feared for my life.
So this is...
This was an absolute, it's either me or her. I mean, it's just like, I'm like, holy shit.
But did you see her with a gun or another weapon or anything like that?
But I don't know what she had on the outside. You know, when my lights were off, you know, so she came up, it was dark out. And I'm like, great, now she's pounding on my door. Now she's scaring the crap out of me. You know, now my door's moving, and I didn't have it properly secured. And the next thing I thought, she was going to be in my house, you know, killing me. I mean, that's honest to God what I felt. You know, it's not like, you know, I'm fed up or anything. This was a real fear.
But when we first started talking, you said you made it very clear to the 911 call taker that she was threatening to kill you.
Yes, absolutely.
And if that's not on the recording, is there any reason why that's not on the recording?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I said it. So.
Are you just pretty sure she said it as well? That she
Oh,
was
no,
doing it?
absolutely, she said it.
Okay.
She was absolutely, you know.
So the way that I see it is kind of like this. You have two things that you are looking at when you're in your position. You have this fear, this imminent fear of great bodily harm, death, serious injury, right? Imminent fear. Or you have, I'm in my apartment, I'm scared as shit, and I'm trying to scare someone off. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you understand what the difference between those are?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand, do you have this imminent fear that you're about to die? Or do you have this, I'm afraid of what's going to happen if this person doesn't go away? Does that make sense?
No, I felt like I was in imminent danger.
Okay. How would you define imminent danger? I just want to make sure that you because that's what the actual
imminent
law...
Imminent danger, let's say someone coming at you with a nice 4-ton truck, you know, straight at you, and, you know, they're swerving with you when you're trying to run away.
Okay. So, someone coming at you and you're this close to danger. Okay.
Now, the first time that you called 911, tonight or last night, at what point did you disconnect from the call? You called about basically the kids were in your area and you didn't want them there.
Mm-hmm.
And what point did you disconnect with them?
They hung up with me. They said, someone's on the way, just keep your doors and windows locked. And I said, okay.
But Ajike wasn't there at that point?
No, she was not.
Okay. How long after you disconnected with them did she come over there, do you think?
I honestly thought it was you guys, someone banging on the door like that, because it felt, like really heavy bang bang, a guy doing it, and I was like, okay. It was kind of shocked me, like, what the hell? And then she started screaming, and I went, great. And then, it was just weird because I just thought she is just so angry, and she's just ranting and pounding, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, from the information I got, she was angry and pounding because she believed that you had either struck or attempted to strike one of her kids with an umbrella and threw roller skates.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, again, I know how kids can be, they're not always very truthful about things. But I didn't have any information provided me out there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're still going through evidence, and that's an ongoing thing. But nothing that says that she threatened to kill you or that was doing anything more than trying to get you to come to the door. That she wanted you to open the door.
Why would I open my door to this woman? When she has
I wouldn't either. I
when
get
she
it.
has thrown things at me, when
Right.
she has followed me a foot behind me, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
I mean, she's literally come up. We had words about 2 months ago, and I walked away. I said, "All right, whatever." And I said, "I'm sorry," just because I wanted to diffuse it, de-escalate everything. I'm walking away, and she's literally walking 1 foot behind me, like she was, I said, "Oh my God, she's going to pound me into the ground."
So, yeah, I mean, that's my question, though, is if she wasn't trying to come in, she's just trying to get, and again, I wouldn't come to the door either. If you're beating on my door, wanting to cause something, I'm not answering it. But that's different than trying to bust the door down.
To me, she was
And you
trying
said
to
that
bust
the
the
door's
door.
already broken, so
Yes.
how hard would it have been for her, because she's kind of a big girl, right? How hard would it have been for her to break that door knowing you're on, you know your door better than I do, but if it's already,
Well, we did put the extra long deadbolt on and everything. I did have the deadbolt on, so I didn't know how long the door was gonna
see,
hold up.
and that's why I'm asking, is
So-
because at first it's broken and now it's
So it's not, I don't feel secure. Every night I stick a chair under that door to keep, because I feel like someone's gonna break it in.
when did you install the new deadbolt, or did he did that? Someone else did that?
Yeah, Charles did it.
Okay. How long ago was that?
He just, I'm trying to think when the hell he did it, a few months ago.
And what was the reason for that?
She had pounded on the door once before and found out everything that he had fixed previously, she had cracked apart. And I'm like, oh God. Like I said, it's not the
What did
first
she
time.
what did she pound on the door for last time? What happened with that?
I think I called her kid an idiot or something like that. And like, you see the signs, stop coming over here. And I can do anything I want. I could just go in. And I'm like, oh my God. It's just.
And what did she do that time? She beat on the door?
I
And
should beat on the door and like go away.
did you call the police then?
I believe I called the police, and this when she heard me calling the police, then she went away.
She went away. What was she trying to get you? Was she that
I
time?
have no idea. I have no idea what this woman is thinking. I mean, to me, she's just terrifying at this point in time. I just thought she is not mentally stable, and every time something happens, oh, it's my children, they're 100% little angels, and of course, you're demonized. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But was she trying to get in that time, or was she just beating on the door and ranting and raving about you calling her son an idiot?
I think she was ranting and raving about me calling him an idiot.
Okay,
And I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, go away, you bother me.
okay.
But at that point in time, I had all the locks on, I had the chair up, you know, like,
Did you get your gun that time?
no. And it didn't feel, she wasn't as forceful that time as, you know, this time was, you know, like, oh my God.
And do you think the reason was because she believed that you threw something at her
I don't
kids,
know
or?
what, I have no idea what she was thinking.
Okay.
I can't even speculate. You know, all I know is she's like, you know, you screamed at my kids, or you know, you said something to them, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, fine.
And if your camera does work, do you, you're confident that any video would back you up, or, and the reason I'm asking that is because this is the time, if there's any discrepancies, to clear that up now, and I'm just trying to be
I don't even know if
forthright
it
with you
engaged.
on that. What's that?
I don't even know if it engaged, because the last time she was there at night, I tried to play it and nothing came up, so.
Did you ever know her to carry a weapon or anything?
But you can't tell who.
No, you never know, that's
I was gonna
right.
say,
Yeah. We have kids out here running around with firearms and stuff, so, but I guess my question is, what is it that she did that made that an immediate threat to your life that you had to shoot when you did? Or you were gonna be harmed at
I
that
thought she
second?
was coming right through that damn door. I mean, this guy was my witness, I thought that one was coming through.
What
that
made you
door.
think that she was coming?
Because everything was shaking. I mean, my mirror that was on the wall was shaking. I'm like, how do you shake a cement block house? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. That's why I thought,
So she was just beating, like,
Oh, she was wild with it. I mean, she was bam, bam.
what is your door made out of? Is it like a metal or like a, I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I just was like, oh, dear God, you know. I thought I was gonna get my,
How long do you think she was hitting the door?
no, I can't even speculate, because it could have been seconds, it could have been, you know, when you get that fear response, and, you know, she banged on it, I was in the bathroom, came out of the bathroom, and she was still banging on it, so I don't know, maybe a minute or two.
And you didn't try to call 911 back
But
at
my
that
phone
point?
wasn't there. I didn't know where I put my phone.
You don't remember where you
No.
put your phone?
And I was like, crap, I can't find my phone.
Okay. So you have an app on your phone that lets you review the video
Yes.
for your surveillance camera? Would you be willing to be able to let us look at that?
I don't have a phone.
Well, no, we have it in the
All right.
office
Okay.
over here, but
Yeah, got it.
okay. Let me see what condition the battery's in, and I'll be back in just a
Okay.
moment, okay? Thank you. Susan? Looks like we got a little bit of juice in here. This is your phone, correct? Is it an Apple iPhone?
Yes.
There's a passcode attached to it?
It faces.
Faces?
Yeah.
There's a numerical to it if you don't have your face?
Yes.
Do you mind providing that?
Yes, I do mind.
You do mind?
I'll open it for you, that's no problem.
Okay. So this is a consent to search cellular phone and/or other storage media. Okay, this is a form, I just read this to you. I want to make sure I have your address and everything written down correctly, it's been a long day. The undersigned residing at 1662 Southwest 107th Lane, is that right?
Mhm.
Number 3, Ocala, Florida, does hereby authorize Detective Ryan Stitt and/or other officers he may designate to assist him to search my cellular phone or their storage media described below, Apple iPhone. This written permission to search without a warrant is given to me, to the above officers freely and voluntarily without any threats or promises having been made. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
Okay. If you would sign on that line there, please. said as a face unlock deal. And you said it's a blink?
Yeah, like,
Is that what both of those cameras are? They both blink cameras?
okay. Let me just,
Is that correct though?
I don't remember if one's blink and one's ring. I have to be brutally honest.
Okay, that's all
The
right.
two up front are blinks.
Okay.
It's gonna be front door.
Oh, so they both are, oh, you have a few of them? Okay. Just can't remember exactly. Do you remember when you called the first time?
I have no idea. That's when the kids were playing. They were so loud in the house.
I think it might have been. I guess it was all after.
That's the front. It'll say front door on it.
Okay. Now, did you delete any videos? No?
No. First time.
I'm sorry?
It's the first time I looked at it since before.
Okay.
That's why I didn't touch it. Just let you have it.
So this is the only one, so this usually doesn't capture at night anyway, you
No.
say? Does it normally capture things during the night, like?
Just look at that one and see if it usually just shows up as a dark screen.
Which one?
The yesterday. No, that's when it was recording, I guess.
And that captures a lot of stuff, a lot of activity around there, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I have my TV on 75.
You
Just
still
getting them.
have
Oh my God, they're ridiculous.
Okay, that went off.
Did you want to open it again? Did you want to?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
But if it goes the way where you are released, which I said, I don't know, I have to talk to him, I'll be 100% honest. Do you have family or someone that you could stay with if that's the case?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna go get a hotel room. I'm not gonna stay at my place now. I'll have to get the cats and take them with me.
Okay. Well, I don't even know if, like, I understand your cat, there's nobody that would be able to go over there or
I
for
wouldn't
you?
want, my sister is a brittle diabetic and she's had amputations. God forbid they saw her and they wanted to do her harm, she can't run. She works with a cane.
Yeah. Okay. All right, is there anything else that you can think of that I didn't ask or that might be helpful for figuring this all out?
I've never been in this situation before. This is all new and it's killing me.
Okay. All right. Susan, give me just a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So we continue the investigation. I don't think it's safe for you to go back to that house.
I don't think so either.
But what we can do is provide you with a ride back there. You stay in the patrol car. How many cats do you have?
There's 2 cats.
2 cats. Do you drive that truck that's
Yeah,
there?
that's my truck.
We can get the cats. Do you know where the keys are to your truck?